marketing industry is changing and you need to adapt so you are not one of those marketers who gets left behind. I'm Ayesha Siddiki. I'm a marketing operations specialist and a graphic designer. I've worked in digital marketing in the past and now I work as a marketing operations specialist at a fintech. Basically, I live at the intersection of marketing and design. If you're watching this in early 2026, you already know that the marketing industry is changing fast. And in 2026, it's going to make it more obvious. Let's talk about what's working, what's going to work, and how to position yourself better for what's coming next. Because, like it or not, AI is coming for your jobs, just not for the ones you think. So let's get into it. AI is going to replace you at your job, especially if you're boring. So let's start with the elephant in the room, AI. We hear this a lot. We've been hearing this a lot since 2022, but AI has been here for a long time. Everyone's freaking out about whether AI is going to take their job away or not, and if AI is going to replace them. And to be very honest, yes, but only if you're boring. Here's what I mean, and I have my notes. A Stanford study found AI reduced typical marketing tasks from 90 to 30 minutes. 90 to 30 minutes. That's a third of the time. And a professor of marketing at Northwestern University, Jim Lisinski, pretty sure I pronounced it wrong, and he put it pretty bluntly. He said, if AI can do this task in a third of the time, then maybe I only need a third of the people. I did not make this up. This is a professor of one of the best marketing. But here's a nuance everyone's missing. AI is not replacing marketers. AI is replacing the marketers who only execute, does their job, go home, and does not think. If your job is to scheduling posts, if your job is to going to ChatGPT, asking for ideas, give me 30 days content plan, copying and pasting it and posting it, and scheduling them, and not even asking why, then yes, you are in the danger zone. And if you're someone who knows consumer psychology and understands data and can extract valuable insights from those data, then you're fine. If anything, you're gonna love AI because it's gonna make your life so much easier because you're going to use it as a companion. So the question isn't, will AI replace me? The question is, am I just executing or am I thinking strategically? Okay, next. Okay, the next one's a bit personal because I've lived it. There's gonna be a rise in hybrid marketers. I generally think the future belongs to the hybrid marketers. I started my career as a marketer, and for a while it was enough, but I got tired of things getting lost in translation. I wanted more control, okay? And I got tired of ad campaigns and social media posts that just looked good but did not convert. That kind of defeats the purpose. I'm all about the numbers. I want conversions. I want the numbers to go up. And it wasn't, even though the ads were good, even though the landing page was good, it just wasn't converting. So what I did, I learned the graphic design simultaneously while getting my bachelor's in marketing. And I learned not because I wanted to be a designer, because I wanted to be a better marketer. And then I fell in love with design. I love being in marketing and design and knowing and speaking both languages. It helped me so much in my career. But now I am not seeing it as a nice to have thing. Now I think it's essential for a marketer to think like a designer and a designer to think like a marketer. Marketers need to think like designers. You need to understand color psychology, visual hierarchy, basic design rules. One of the books that I really love is The Laws of UX. That is something every marketer should read. I'm not talking about UX designers should read that book only, but also marketers, because all of those influences behavior. If you don't know why certain designs convert and do better, then you're just guessing. On the other hand, designers also need to start thinking like a marketer. You need to understand the basics of marketing, the 4 P's: messaging, positioning, strategy, SWOT analysis, customer psychology, customer journey, the sales funnel, the marketing funnel. You need to be aware of these. You need to know what actually drives conversion. Pretty isn't enough anymore. Your work needs to work. The reality is, you don't really need to be an expert and master both marketing and design. I am not an expert, but I can speak both languages. So what you need to do is know enough to speak both languages so you understand. Strategy meets aesthetics, psychology meets design, data meets creativity. Hybrids who can bridge these two worlds are the ones winning. There is another side of the coin of AI. There is also an AI fatigue creeping in very slowly, but it's coming. And you see that a lot in the design and content world, in the UGC world. Kittle's 2026 Design Trend Report showed a 30% rise in searches for hand-drawn and imperfect design elements. 30%. And that basically shows people are getting tired of perfection. They're tired of AI smooth, over-polished, fake content and ad campaigns that screams AI. Wobbly lines, handwritten type, imperfect, perfect designs are everywhere, especially on TikTok and UGC world. Brands are leaning into this mess on purpose because it reintroduces warmth and individuality. It makes the content real, approachable, and most importantly, human. Last but not the least, community building. And look, I know this sounds like every marketing expert's advice from the last 5 years, but here's the difference. No one's actually doing it right, especially B2B. Building real relationship is becoming more valuable than any growth hack. Community beats audience. Being generally helpful beats being salesy. The brands that are winning right now, they're investing in their own communities. They're showing up authentically. They're having real conversation, treating customers like humans. Mind blowing, right? Especially for B2B. I did not say that. But seriously, the fact that treat customers like people is still considered a trend and it's still we're still talking about tells you exactly what you need to know about how far we still have to go. So here's the bottom line. AI handles execution. Humans bring creativity, connection, and strategy. And the marketers and designers who can balance both sides, they're the winners. It's time to stop being a button pusher and just executing, and it's time to start thinking and to start thinking creatively. Understand the why behind the what. Learn skills outside of your job description. Trust me, learning is so fun. Create work that's both beautiful but also strategic. If you made it this far, then you're the exact type of marketer I want in my network. I talk about design, marketing, AI, and marketing automation. If that sounds like your vibe, please subscribe, drop a comment, and let me know what are some changes and shifts you are seeing in your corner of marketing.